Hey everyone, Mystery here, and today I want to talk about talents again. I know, talents are really cool in Darktide. They're definitely one of the things that has set Darktide apart. Having these big skill trees full of talents is really cool, allows you to be creative, and obviously I've made a bit of my name as a build creator. But I have been thinking a lot about talents, and I thought, if I were to rank the talents, what are the best ones, even compared across classes? That's what I'm going to do today. So welcome to the top 10 most powerful talents in Darktide. Starting things off at number 10 with Soften Them Up. Soften Them Up is an Ogren talent that offers enemies damaged by your melee attacks take 15% more damage for 5 seconds. This talent is absolutely massive in terms of power level. It means that any enemy that is tapped, even just with a small light attack in melee by the Ogren, is going to have all damage done to them in the next 5 seconds multiplied by 1.15. That is just incredible. It means that bosses are going to get shredded that much faster. It means that all the damage over time effects and the ranged attacks and explosions and all sources of damage that are going into this enemy are all being multiplied up, which is absolutely massive. There aren't that many effects in the game that increase the damage that enemies take, and Ogren gets one for pretty much free with Soften Them Up. Number 9 is Demolition Stockpile. Demolition Stockpile replenishes 1 grenade every 60 seconds, so just printing free grenades. On a average length 30-minute game, this is 30 grenades, right? Just as long as you're pretty routinely using them. What Ogrens wouldn't do to have a talent like this if they're using the Ogren Frag Bomb or the Cluster Bombs? And this is such a essential talent in most veteran trees. I think they take it for granted how awesome it is to always have grenades on hand, more or less. If Zealots could use other grenades in the knives and have a pretty decent build, I'm certain this would be in the top tier for them as well. Coming in next, we have Subscribing to Mystery. This is just an awesome talent. I mean, you definitely saw it coming if you watched my content for any amount of time. Sorry to do it to you. Let's just get back to the thing with number 7, Batter. Batter is plus 2 stacks of bleed on any melee hit, plus 4 stacks on a heavy melee hit. This is an Ogren talent, and it is really, really good, especially because the Ogren, as we addressed previously, has lots of ways to increase the damage that enemies take, and so these bleeds do more damage, but every class likes to apply damage over time effects to the enemies, especially bosses and other unyielding type enemies take a ton of damage from bleeds. So things like the shield bulwarks and unarmored enemies and ragers, the unarmored version of ragers, they all just die to tons and tons of stacks of bleeds. And this is an easy-ass way to get those stacks all the way up. And yeah, it would be very, very good on any class that cares about melee at all. Speaking of good on melee, we have Duelist next. Duelist is 50% weak spot and critical hit damage for 3 seconds on successful dodge. And this is coming in only at number 7 for me because it is only a 3-second window that you get this benefit. It's most used it's most usable with a class that can guarantee a crit, and Zealot does that very, very well because he has 2 ultimate abilities that guarantee a crit on your next attack. But that weak spot damage is nothing to turn your nose up at either. Honestly, if it was just weak spot damage on dodge for 3 seconds, it would still be a very formidable talent, but the fact that it has both means that Zealots or anybody who dodges an attack and then retaliates with a crit within the next couple of seconds can just absolutely obliterate whatever target they're focusing on. So I think this one is very, very powerful in the offensive sense. Speaking of offensives, we have Reciprocity. Reciprocity requires you to dodge, but if you do dodge successfully, you get 5% crit chance. This stacks up to 5 times for a total of 25% crit chance, and it lasts for 8 seconds. Now, this is a veteran buff, and it's really good on veteran. It is very, very good on veteran because it makes his melee attacks, it makes all of his weapons crit 25% more often. It's super easy to trigger what's considered a successful dodge in this game, and if this were available on any other class, you would see all of them take it. No brainer. The Ogren would be so jealous to have this. He has one talent that allows him to get up to like 12% crit, but he has to kill enemies to do this. All you have to do to get this is just dodge back and forth. If a ranged attacker is shooting at you, just dodge him a couple times and you'll get free crit, and it lasts for 8 seconds, which is really awesome. So every other class would be jealous about this talent if they could get it, but they can't. So veterans win out there. Second Wind coming in next. Second Wind is replenish 15% toughness on a successful dodge. This is one of the only toughness replenishers in the game that is purely defensive. It's like a positive feedback loop for defenses, right? There's already an attack coming at you. Your choices are to take the attack or dodge it. And when you dodge it correctly, the reward normally is supposed to be you didn't take the damage. But with Second Wind, it says the reward is not only did you not take the damage, but you just got extra toughness. So now you can mess up in the future. And this is one of the things that makes playing Zealot so safe, is when he does correctly dodge, he gets rewarded for it extra. And this is a huge, huge, huge gain of toughness, because it's super easy to dodge attacks, as we previously said, especially range attacks. You just wait for the flash of light, dodge to the side, get a bunch of toughness, and now you're ready to go. Next up, we have Metal. Metal at number 4. Metal is a crazy, crazy perk. It would be crazy enough if it was just the first line of text, which says critical hits replenish 5% toughness. But it's not. It also increases your movement speed by up to 15%. As long as you are critting. Now this would be awesome on every class except for Ogryn, who really doesn't do that well with critting, but if either Veteran or Zealot had access to this, they would absolutely 100% guaranteed take it. It's crazy good on Psyker if you're running anything to do with crits at all. In fact, a lot of builds just throw in crits not only for the damage, they don't really even care about the damage, but because of talents like this that can just boost your toughness back up. And there is no internal cooldown on this either. So as fast as you can get crits, say with like, the tickling of the flame staff or something like that, you can fill your bar back up in mere seconds. It is a very, very powerful talent at number 4. At number 3, we have Psychonetics Aura, which is not an aura, but it is in fact a talent, so that's why I made it on this list. And it's another Psyker talent. This talent gives a decrease of ability cooldown for you and allies in coherency of 4% on elite or specialist kill. So in English, what that means is, if you, as the Psyker, claim an elite or specialist kill, you get the final hit on it. It lowers your cooldown, and it lowers all of your allies' cooldown by 4%. And this used to be 5%, and they nerfed it down, probably rightfully so, but there's also no cooldown on this. So if 25 gunners or shotgunners, which is not unheard of, right? If they come out of a clown car closet on you and you drop a void blast staff on them, or you flame staff them for a couple of seconds, they'll all die, and you will instantly replenish 100% of your ultimate bar for you and all of your allies nearby. Obviously, this has more value the longer the cooldowns are on your team, and it just so happens that Chorus is a pretty long cooldown, and it likes having Psychonetics Aura around it to do the cooldown for it. A extremely powerful talent, as are many that are related to cooldown. Demolition Team is number 2 here. Demolition Team is a multiplicative power talent. The more enemies there are, the more elite and specialist enemies there are in a game, the more grenades you are going to print, to the point where, in an average game of Havoc 40 at the highest difficulties, you're printing something like 40 grenades over the course of the game, and it can be more and it can be less. I've seen people print 60, 70 grenades in a run. This is just a huge power boost for veterans. They can just hurl out their grenades all day and rarely have to worry about running out at all, especially with that backup from Demolition Stockpile back there at number 9. But if this were on Ogryn, for instance, he would be rejoicing for days, because this would be a massive boon to his grenade regeneration. And then finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Invocation of Death. Invocation of Death is a Zealot talent far down on the bottom left side of the tree, which rewards you with triple ability cooldown regeneration for 4 seconds every time you get a melee critical hit. Really what it actually does, it starts a separate timer that is counting down in addition to your regular cooldown timer. So your regular cooldown timer is counting down 1 second every second, and this one knocks off an additional 2 seconds for every second that passes. So yeah, for when you get a crit with the Zealot and you have this talent, you are going to lose 12 seconds of cooldown in only 4 seconds of time. And if any other class had this, I know I said this a lot, but if any other class had this, the ability to crit like this and just pop their cooldown back up, it's effectively lowering your cooldown by 66%. It is truly insane. It's insane on the Zealot. That's not even like one of the more powerful ult users in the game. Imagine if bubble psychers could have this and just put bubbles literally everywhere, or, you know, veterans with their silly shouts. It would be absolute absurdity. So there you go. That is number 1 there. I do have a runner-up. I would rate Until Death. The fatal damage instead grants you invulnerability for 5 seconds, and it occurs every 2 minutes, 2-minute cooldown on this. I would have rated this. This is honorable mention. I was somewhere around like number 10 or number 11 with this talent here, but I don't think it's quite powerful enough on its own to make it into the top 10. However, with the addition of Revenant behind it, which gives you your health back when you get some damage after this talent is procced, it does sort of boost it a little higher, but on its own, I just give it an honorable mention. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this little brief rundown on some powerful talents in Darktide, let me know in the comments. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Mr. E out. Bye.